First off, I would like to thank God Almighty for giving everybody so much and me so little. I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Coffee.
Oh, that's right.
Well, it's funny because it's too fucking hot for that. It's way too fucking hot. Because I don't drink coffee, but I'll have a little coffee before the show because I feel like it adds a fun dynamic.
Oh,
Just
sure.
A nice full cup of black coffee, maybe a cup and a half. But you don't want to do that the fucking middle of August when global warming clearly doesn't exist. Or climate change. I don't even know what we're fucking supposed to call it anymore. You got to call it the right thing. Or else you get everything is an option for someone to condescend to you now.
It truly is because
You're always leaving yourself open.
I was talking to a young lady on Bumble, and I was like, "What do you do?"
Romantic.
Oh, super romantic.
Did she go about what? Because that's the hottest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I work in a startup, and I am in what did she call it? Sales something or other. Sales.
I'm in sales and procurement.
I don't know if basically it was customer service.
Yeah.
And I translated that back to her. I was like, "Oh, customer service." She goes, "We don't say that anymore."
Like,
I'm
who's
like,
we?
Yeah.
Your company? The startup? Because I hate to tell you, I know the same thing because it was support at my old
I think
place.
it might have been sales support.
Yeah.
Is what she called it. Yep, sales support.
Like, you know
That's
why
what
they
it
don't
was.
call it customer service anymore? Because everybody knows what that means. And so they need to call it something else to trick people like you into having pride about a job that everyone hates. So now when someone calls it what it really is, it offends you rather than you realizing that, oh, fuck, I'm in customer service.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
They don't have to pay you a livable wage because you've got dignity.
Yeah. Now, because now you were a team, and now you're a family.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. Even though the people who are telling you that are making 2 to 3 times as much as you are, they're making a livable wage. They're telling you you're making a livable wage.
And we'll all be in it together this weekend when we catch up on extra work.
Yeah.
I'll stop by on my way to Saks.
We also need to help with sales, so we'll be making cold calls. Hooray!
You're going to meet a lot of new friends, and they're going to sound angry at
Yeah.
first, but you can win them over. Just keep pushing our services.
That was like the worst job I ever had. It was half sales, half customer service, because you were also running them through the process while you were selling it to them.
Dear God.
So you were kind of troubleshooting it for them in terms of like what they needed and what they wanted done. It was a house cleaning service, Maid Pro, and I lasted all of like 3 months before I was like, this isn't working. It was pretty much hell. I learned very, very quickly on I don't like 2 things: sales and customer service.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You don't like to be abused by strangers. That's odd.
Oh, I would just I was fine with the abuse. I think the weird thing is that they expect you to take it in a certain way, and when you're just like, "Oh yeah, man, you're preaching to the choir here. I know exactly what the problem is because I hear about it from people like you all the time." And they're like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just like the low guy on the totem pole here, man. You're preaching." I wish I could personally change exactly what you're talking about. I just don't have any of the means. But don't worry, because all of this stuff is monitored. I go through a review where I promise you, in like a week from now, my supervisor will be playing this verbatim back to me and then explain to me why it was good or bad. But I'm just here to tell you, like, everything you're saying, like, they really are listening on the other end, at least to some of it, mostly because they want to scrutinize me, not because they want to help you. But I feel you, friend. I wish I could change that. But since I can't, what would you like us to do? Just
go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And to you as well, sir.
Fantastic. And that's all you got to do. But at the same time, people don't give a shit. The people who are upset are always going to be upset, and there's nothing you can do anyways.
Yeah, I just hang up. I don't bother berating the person. I'm like, nah, dude. I'm not your lead. Click.
Yeah.
I used to fuck with them. I used to like do crazy accents and pretend that I had like just killed. So you're calling me at a bad time. I've made a mess in my kitchen and my wife is no longer here to clean it up.
Well, it depends if they're trying to sell something to you or if you're calling because there's a problem with your service. Like if I'm calling like Spectrum Internet and I'm calling them because like my internet's been down for the past 3 hours. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Technically, I am still paying for it this entire time it's down. It's not like you guys are going to give me hour credits that'll add up at the end of the year.
We'll prorate your bill. Yeah.
Sorry, Rory, we were out for 17 days. We're going to go ahead and just give you the month next month for free because you're so important as a client. No, it's more like, fuck you. The node was down. You can deal with it when we figure it out. Like, so like those people, when I call them, like, you can't do a fucking thing about this. You're some poor bastard sitting in a chair taking a beating on behalf of the morons who work in the area that I live who fucked something up.
Yeah, and then I love
You're not connected in any way.
No, and I love the people that call from organizations like, hello, sir, this is the Fraternal Order of Police. Now, I know everybody fucking hates cops.
Yeah.
Like, just hang up.
Yeah. Well, I got a call from them actually the other day. It's ironic that when you're trying to sell something using an auto dialer, it's totally fucking illegal. But when the police need to fucking ask for fucking money and donations, they'll use the very same situation. And theirs is better. Theirs is hooked up to this nice little computer where you go, hello, and it goes, hello, am I speaking to the man of the house? And you go, that's a weird style of phrasing, sir. And then it goes, no, I just don't want to take too much of your time. And he goes into this whole spiel about how the police force does this great job and blah, blah, and how they need support from the community. And you try to be like, this is a recording, isn't it? Is it a recording? And he just kind of keeps going on that path. You go, fuck you guys. Why is it okay for you guys to use this shit on people? I don't get me wrong. I hate the other people who are doing it too, who are giving me their fucking automated calls. You're the cops. You're supposed to be fucking stopping that. And you're part of it.
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
See, I want to do that. I want to do a really folksy recording that's just me talking about how, like, you have to hold in your diarrhea because there's nutrients in it.
You got to let some of it absorb back into the body.
See how many people get.
Through the membranous walls of your anus.
It's a complex system. Walk with me through the magic of the human digestive tract.
No. Oh, actually, I mean, I'd probably listen to that more than the other ones because I'm pretty sure I'm getting tired of hearing about my car's extended warranty.
The IRS is coming after me.
Yeah, I let those come through and I insult them. They're like, we're the IRS. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not the IRS. You're some asshole in the Philippines.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude by doing the accent, but it's always like, hello, I am with the IRS. And I'm like,
no, sir.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry you have to do this.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know who
But
you're
you're
doing
not.
this for. I don't know how much of the money you get. Usually can't get through your like argument back with them before they've already hung up the phone and moved on to the next person. So normally you have to sit there and pretend like you're going along with it for a second and get yourself to a nice gotcha moment where you tell them to fuck off and die in a fire. That's what I like doing.
One of them did that to my dad. Some Russian woman called and he was like, we all want it. And she goes, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, you can't piss off the Russian ones. You just got to hang up on those.
Yeah.
You detect that St. Petersburg accent, you just
They
bail
got
out.
your number. You don't know what else of yours they have.
Dump it.
There's some of them who are just literally, they've got an auto dialer. It is going through every single number in every possible permutation. And yours is going to come up every now and then, and you're going to get put on the line with some scammy douchebag in a different country 9 times out of 10. Because the ones who do it in this country, fuck themselves because they get caught. But if you're in a different country, what the fuck are we going to do about it? Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
No.
We have no extradition treaty with Vanuatu.
You sons of bitches, send them all here. You imagine if we started getting mass amounts of of auto dialer phone scammers sent, we would stone those people in the street. There would be no punishment awful enough for those people.
They'd be begging to get sent to Guantanamo
They
instead.
would be asking for execution.
Yeah.
Like, here's all kinds of awful stuff. We got these angry bugs flown in from Australia, and we're going to put them all over your genitals.
We literally hate them so fucking much, we wouldn't have to do anything other than parade them down the street across the country like Forrest Gump on his fucking wild trek.
They wouldn't make it halfway
And just
through New
belittle
England.
them.
They would not make it. There'd be too many people with rocks. There'd just be too many big crowds. Somebody would hit them just so in the temple, and they would die.
But if the rule is you can't hit, you can tear clothing, you can spit.
They'd be naked and covered in Niagara Falls. They would drown
Just like
to
snails.
death. I feel like there'd be enough people in America. America is this type of place to me right now. This is what I think of when
We
I
never
think of
talked
America.
about this before.
Right?
Go on.
Yeah. Really? I've got a take on this? There's enough people in America who would hate those people so much that if the rule was you can only spit on them and tear their clothing, from the moment they start, like say they start in beautiful Washington, D.C., and they end in fucking Sacramento, California, they got to walk the whole way. They would drown before they left the city in the amount of spit. People would fucking pilgrimage there. Idiots showed up for Trump on the 6th in number. If that crowd all decided they wanted to spit on a 95-pound asshole computer geek
Some
from fucking
desperate
Pune,
foreigner,
India,
yeah.
they would just 100% they would die. They would die.
It would be like in Goldfinger when she died because you painted her skin all gold.
The COVID
They'd be
alone,
so covered in spit, their fucking skin wouldn't breathe.
the COVID alone that person would get would just, it'd kill them halfway through. Remember, they're walking across. They're going to be hacking by day 3. Oh, they're fucking done.
Oh, yeah.
If they make it that far. I suggest they drown.
Honestly, yeah. The minute you know I'm being extradited to the U.S. for
Yeah.
making robocalls, that's, you find the most honorable and expedient death, and you just leave your family a little settlement money.
I think the meanest one I ever heard of was there's a prison somewhere, I can't remember what country it's in, where basically your cell is underneath a chicken coop. And so you and a bunch of people just sit there all day getting shit on by chickens in a dark room. You're not wearing shoes, and you just basically succumb to all sorts of disease. And this is happening. This is happening right now. There are people.
Sure.
There are people right now in this chicken coop.
There are some
somewhere.
people doing it for fun in like Alabama.
Yeah, and that was one of the worst things I had ever heard of, because I just can't imagine like being in a dark room every now and then just a little bit more chicken poo hits you. All you can hear is them up top, just yeah, that's it. You and a bunch of think about the shit you have to do to get in the chicken poo palace.
It's demoralizing to die because an animal shit on you too much.
Yeah. It's almost as bad. Like, again, it reminds me of scaphism. If the intention was to kill you, I assume they would just like cut you up your scalp a bunch, before you went in there. They just run you through a couple of blades so you're cut, and then you have to sit in the chicken poo palace. Eventually got to go to sleep. Eventually got to sleep down in that chicken poo.
It's getting in your mouth.
That's what you're living in. And I don't know how long you have to stay in that. I think that might just be an extra special punishment, because I'm sure they're like, we left Terry in there for a day and he like became one with the ground. Like,
he's got a boner and he like seems really into it. I think we fucked up.
No, he died with that. He died with the erection.
Died with a boner to shape his smile.
Yeah.
Um,
And all just calcified with the poo. Oh God.
just crusty plaster.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But yeah, that's going on. That's the kind of punishment for those robocalling sons of bitches.
You heard it here. That vaguely reminds me of a character that I've been working on.
How?
Because we're talking about the abuse of foreigners. So this is a character I'd call woke racist.
I feel like someone's already done this before.
Excuse me? They prefer to be called people of color, and I just think they should go back to where they came from.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, this follow-up character is called Anti-Semitic Spider-Man, and it's going to knock your socks off. I don't fucking know.
That's pretty awful.
Should we get joke writers for the show?
Like who? Who's going to write jokes? We can listen.
Literally anyone.
If somebody wants to write jokes for the show, I think that's more of it. Can we get anyone to do anything for the show? Will people do things for the show? Because if they will, we'll definitely put them on.
To be fair, 2 or 3 people every time we're like, come on, guys, why don't you make a mascot for the Skimbo Lounge? And they participate, and we just never do anything with it.
Because it's not good enough. We want real effort. People are like, hey, I farted out this thing. Here, why don't you take it? It's funny, right? No.
Not at all.
Show some effort.
You missed the point of the exercise.
Yes, the point of the exercise is to give at least 1/10 of an iota of a fuck.
Make us look bad while revealing a dark part of your personality.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a child clown being abused by its father.
Yeah.
Like, give us something.
Here's this strange childhood photo where you see something disturbing on the other side of this pane of glass that we're standing in front of.
Yeah.
Fun things, Fun
Here's
things
Paul
like that.
Pot milking a cat. Like, I don't know. It's going to be something.
That'd probably be worth a lot.
Cat cheese. Oh, man.
I'm talking about the anyways.
Yeah, no. Paul Pot milking a cat. And then I immediately was like, could you make cheese out of it?
Probably.
Would it be any
I've got
good?
tits, Greg. Can you milk me?
Exactly.
Someone out there is making human cheese.
Yeah, you could probably make.
And it's not the way you think. More at 11.
Wait till you see what it costs. That's just what Kraft singles are. It's just tit cheese.
Somewhere there's just a very disturbing warehouse out in the middle of Wisconsin, held under wraps by the people at Kraft.
Just uncomfortably juggy women who have been fed like Blissant. You remember that? The herbal supplement that was supposed to make your boobs grow?
The occasional dude.
Just coming in to stud them.
Sitting in there.
Just John Hamm.
Reading comic books.
Yep. What do we do with all those babies, Rory? We send them to Gitmo.
We put them to work. It's America. Show me a place where babies can't work.
Listen.
That's not freedom. I want to live in a country. Like, that's the kind of argument I feel like people are making these days politically. It's like, I want the freedom to let my baby to work. I want to put my baby to work if I can.
Values.
Don't you dare tell me in a free country that I can't put my baby in a 9-to-5 job.
He could work a fucking jackhammer. Look at him.
The reason we don't got mills anymore in this country is because there ain't no babies to work at them no more.
We're not asking for much. Just 6 12-hour shifts a week.
Yeah.
And they do their choring on Sundays.
They can do that.
Listen, if an entire workforce of children has to be put in place so that I can get tit milk cheese to put on my burger, it's worth it.
If you're telling me that 7-year-old can't educate himself while monitoring that pressure gauge, then I don't know what's wrong with this country.
Listen, what would they be doing? Watching Adventure Time? Put them in charge of watching the nuclear reactor. It's better for them.
Just a highly irradiated 7-year-old is a very depressing thought.
Huge. Just becomes massive.
No. This is the real world. His hair falls out pretty immediately. You
No
seen
one
Chernobyl?
notices or cares.
Real dark stuff. Yeah. You want the fun stuff. No. It is all downhill from there.
Yep, this is Chernobyl Jr.
If you see the reactor, you die. Like, that's how that works. Don't you stare into the flame.
Remember, we are the country with an all-child workforce, so our nuclear program, designed by a literal baby.
I really wonder how long it'll be before we get back to that. Before we get back to, like, child labor laws kind of going the way of the dinosaurs. I mean, if you're part of a family, you can go work a lot younger than normal, I think, in this country.
Yep.
So you're like off, hitting up the dish pit in your family's restaurant from the time you're 13.
Wink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just getting that free labor. So isn't it great that we outlawed that in the country, but parents can still do that to their kids? Isn't that what's great about America, you guys? Doesn't that make you feel everybody better? Oh, but I taught him fundamentals and something.
I taught him about exploiting loopholes in labor laws.
Like somewhere out there's like a good parent who's like, I didn't give him the money, but what I did was I invested it into a college fund for him. Or something great like that. But most of them just probably pocketed that fucking money.
Yeah. This is a character building exercise. Or you'd get handed that little like shitty envelope full of just loose change. There you go. You earned this.
Yep. Oh, God. There's some quarters in there, so don't spend it all in one place.
Don't go down to the 5 and dime and have a phosphate with your best girl.
This isn't even when we were kids. This is now.
I'm old and out of touch, and I have mercury poisoning.
Phosphate. Have a malted.
Oh, fucking A.
That's awful.
Speaking of earning money, you heard about the OnlyFans thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have.
That is so legitimately fucked up.
You know what's really funny? And this is, you're going to hate it, but this is a great thing that cryptocurrency could fix.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
But that's all I'll say about it. Cryptocurrency could step in and save the day for OnlyFans because OnlyFans is about to tank itself. How much of their money can come from non-pornographic material?
Next to what is the fucking point of it if it's not pornographic? It's going to be boudoir photos of asses and boobies?
I've got a feeling that private investors must be fleeing. Because they're not a publicly traded company, are they?
Here's what happened.
Or I would have stock in them. Where can I buy this stock?
Yes.
If they were
I have some seed capital that I've put into OnlyFans.
Listen, not to mad money or anything, but if they are a publicly traded company, you sell that motherfucker and you put some options down.
I don't know if they are or if they're trying to sell because they've got heat from advertisers because Bella Thorne joined OnlyFans and like almost fucking broke the system.
Yeah.
She got like $2 million in the first weekend.
And then they limited that. They limited the amount that people could get in a certain amount of time. And they basically fucked themselves up really bad there. And now they're doing it again. All those people are just going to flee into all of the other, like there's going to be something that's going to take that market share.
They already are. Many-vids is going to explode. I'm really betraying myself here.
I don't nothing.
If you want niche content, You kind of have to follow the money.
They've got like the nose fetishists market now, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when everything becomes more diversified. When the conglomerate that is OnlyFans breaks apart, it's really the breaking of a monopoly is what we don't see going on behind the scenes.
Teddy Roosevelt is like, I gotta break up all of the tit sites.
Yeah.
Hentai heaven is getting too big.
John D. Rockefeller, lead developer at OnlyFans.
The trust busters.
Worth
The nut busters.
1.5% of the U.S. GDP, making him the richest man in the world. Secretly, Bezos is behind it.
Well, the thing is, Bella Thorne gets on there, and in her mind, she's like, well, I'm bringing positive attention to sex workers.
Yeah,
and
she fucked it up for everybody else.
Bitch, you took bread out of our mouths, man.
Yeah.
You're a well-known celebrity who gets on here. Is like, you guys ever wonder what my tits and pussy look like? And everyone's like, oh, kind of.
Kind of do.
She makes $2 million fucking dollars and bounces, and everyone else is left holding the bag.
Yep.
It's shitty.
She's in, she's out. She didn't have to deal with the consequences. Everybody else does. And the funny thing is, though, they're getting pressure from banks, right?
Because she comes in, and everyone's like, oh, this OnlyFans thing seems like a great advertising opportunity. And we're not going to advertise on a site that promotes bestiality, incest, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
Obviously, they wouldn't get away with child porn. I don't think they'd get away with bestiality either.
Depends on what country you're in. I have
Depends
no
on
idea.
how severe it is. It's just you and your dog and a jar of peanut butter? Or does that fly? Like,
Probably not. I got a feeling the answer is none of it flies.
I feel like penetration is out.
Survey says probably.
Probably. But can you frottage with a turtle?
No.
Are you familiar with frottage?
You can probably do some things with an animal in the room.
Okay.
That's probably it.
Like a dog runs in and steals your bra while you're fucking?
Exactly.
That's an inside reference for
Yes, it is.
folks who know. If you know, you know.
Ha ha! I just think I don't know why they're doing this. There's something else at play. Someone's tanking this fucking company. And honestly, I think it's a banking thing, and you might be right. It probably is an advertising thing.
It is a banking thing because no one wants to be associated with this fucking...
with amateur pornography.
And it's multifaceted. It's Bella Thorne ruined it. Advertisers flocked. They're ruining it. They don't want to advertise on shady content. Banks don't want to handle the transactions for potentially illicit material.
Which is so funny because you don't hear anything about Pornhub. You don't hear anything. Yeah, They just don't want to get the potential snafu because it's such a big site. It's like Facebook or MySpace. I remember back in the day, it's like, you got to be 13 to be on MySpace. And everyone went, okay. Are you 13? Sure.
Yeah.
It's like anybody with the internet at the age of 15 broke the law. All you motherfuckers broke the law.
Well, we were all doing Kazaa and we broke the law.
Well, everybody sat there when you were underage and went, I want to know what the other one looks like. Let's go find out, internet. And he goes, are you 18? You go, fucking sure I am. I was born in July 1st, 56, and off you go. The old man that the internet thinks you are, and that's what boobies look like. And the world is different for 9-year-old you. And, you
wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Now you just want to be a gynecologist.
Yeah, now you don't even know what you want. You know you want one thing.
You were going to be an Avenger.
And the next couple of years are going to be very frustrating and very confusing. Have fun.
As the only male employee of Victoria's Secret at the mall, the world is truly your oyster.
It's really a shame. Everyone thinks you're that unassuming and non-threatening.
Can you imagine how demoralizing an incel who goes, that's a sitcom, an incel working at a lingerie store.
It's like, you're so non-threatening, nobody worries about you. Okay.
It's just him loading and unloading a gun on the toilet on his lunch break.
Yeah. But anyways, OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Right.
Fuck them.
But so that's why they're afraid, probably, is the banks. Because you're sitting there with the potential for you to be you have the potential to fall into a scandal where it goes Visa charge transactions linked back to child pornography sting on OnlyFans, and then you go, oh fuck, and they go, well, why'd you accept it? And you can't just be like, we're Visa, we're here to make fucking money, you idiots. This whole thing is about money. We're banks. We don't care. You have to go, well, Visa's a family company, don't you know? And everyone goes, fuck you.
Yep.
But we all have to play the fucking game.
No one's ever put down a payment for a hooker on a Visa credit card.
Try to change anybody's mind these days that the business world isn't all about lying professionally. That's it. Everybody who goes into the office, all of you who work in offices, you go in every fucking day and go, hello, Todd, it's a great day to be here. And you would be fucking anywhere else if you didn't have to make that X number of dollars an hour. I get it. Some people like their job, but every day, really, you're telling me that if you didn't have to do it, you would still go? 1% of America sits there and goes, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
CEOs do what they're doing because they're making $23 million a year doing
It's
it.
the 90-year-old man that we're like, fuck it, we'll just let him have a supply closet and he can, I don't know, organize paper clips. It makes him feel useful.
Yeah.
He can stay as long as he wants. He's not taking a salary. He's on Social Security.
Well, like part of me thanks God that we're not that generation we're not like that anymore, that we're not really defined by that. But some people,
we're going to work forever.
Well, some people still are. Yeah, we're going to work forever, which is the sad part about it, while understanding that we don't have to be defined by it, but are anyways.
Yeah. I'm going to be 80 years old doing whatever OnlyFans is by then.
Oh, listen, I'm taking my crypto whenever it gets to a certain point and going, I'm going to retire on that. They're like, but Rory, you're 45. I go, I'm going to retire on that. I'm just going to use that until it's out, and then I'm going to blissfully kill myself.
There you go.
It's the dream.
You ever thought about how you do it?
Oh, God. Probably drugs, right?
Drugs?
Well, I feel like killing yourself with a pistol is so violent and sad. Somebody's got to find you. I don't want to traumatize anybody with that. That sounds very depressing. Unless I go out to like make a trip of it and go to the Okigahara Forest in Japan. And then like some sad, like angsty teenage Japanese novelist he's coming out and he's writing his like anime and like maybe they'll understand it. And he sees my like crushed fucking brain all over some tree and it makes him think like differently. And he goes on to make some of the greatest anime porn novels of all time.
About headless guys that you find in the woods.
Yeah. And I did that for them.
That's awesome.
You're welcome.
That or he
world.
becomes a fascist politician in Japan.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, either way.
Yeah.
I realized that life was cheap. and
Another
meaningless.
generation of sending pinkies to America.
Power is all
a
that
tag.
matters.
I mean, maybe. So yeah, no, I haven't really given it any thought.
Apparently.
Something tasteful,
Well, I'm a showman.
like Elvis, drug-bloated corpse on the bathroom toilet.
He shoulda. Yeah, he knew it was coming. He was
General
abusing his
Parker.
body. He should have Gigi Allen'd himself.
Yeah.
Or actually, yeah, he should have just. Well, he didn't play guitar, but he should have had a guitar on and then just pour beer on it and zap himself. You know,
Yeah.
give the people a show.
It's really
Memphis Fried Chicken.
It's a really painful way to die. Oh.
Well, this is my way because I told you I'm a showman and I want to inflict as much trauma as possible. I will pay for a child choir to show up down at the gazebo, and I'm just gonna sit.
What you want.
I'm gonna sit ass first into a wood chipper, slow, just singing "I Did It My Way" while I'm just spraying the children with blood.
Oh, you got to pay him a lot. A silver dollar for each one of you.
You're going to a good college.
Now that's real silver now. Don't spend it all in one place.
It's just the thing jams halfway through. I'm in agony, but I'm so happy.
And like a guy has to come over and hit you with a broom to get it unclogged.
Are people paying attention to me?
And it starts back up and off you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I finally decide halfway through, I'm like, I want to live. Throw it in reverse.
I got a feeling they probably won't let you do that anyways.
No. Oh, well. It was a good thought.
I mean, you never know. The world could get all Mad Max on us. And then you can definitely do that. You just got to find whatever like the predominant currency is and use that. That'll be what's important.
But if the world gets all Mad Max, I reverse my position and I want to be around. I want to live.
I see.
Because morality is done.
And then it's not a life of working a bullshit position for the rest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just finding smaller people and eating them
Yeah.
while
Well,
they're alive.
I'm down with that because like I read a thing the other day that was like your generation in order to retire is going to have between like $1 and $3 million depending. And I saw that and I was like, okay, I like my option better.
Yeah, for sure. It's just
Yeah.
a hammer behind a glass case. You're called my retirement policy.
Yeah, it literally says it across the glass. In case of lack of retirement, break glass, then break self.
Fucking Social Security's going to run out.
Oh yeah, we're never going to get that. Are
We're
you
fucked.
kidding? It's not even enough.
Millennials aren't buying houses. It's like, where do you propose we get the money?
Millennials are destroying every industry, and it's technically true because we don't have money to support any industry because we can't support ourselves.
We're poor and we're mentally ill.
Yeah.
We can't get anything done.
Well, and it's the funny thing. It's the generation that did it to us sitting there going, what's the matter with you? What's the problem? We pay you like shit, and we treat you like crap. We did everything right.
What more do you want?
Yeah.
Health insurance?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, and it's ironic because like they look at their parents and probably like, well, our parents paid us like shit too. And like, yeah, but that doesn't work 3 generations later. It just doesn't, like, way more than 3 generations. But you get what I'm saying? Like, back in World War II, you're making X and the boomers come along and they're the most fucking financially prosperous in history. And they treat fucking Gen X like shit.
They're the most, the boomers are the most evil generation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Oh.
Pure evil.
100%.
Because
They all sit there and they go, back in my day, we had work ethic. I'm like, yeah, you also got paid for your work ethic. You try your work ethic today and get paid like shit, you wouldn't have fucking done it because it wouldn't have paid for a 4-bedroom house on a single salary, you stupid prick. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
it drives me fucking nuts. I see people going into debt to buy a house. I'm like, do you need it that badly?
Well, I see people in the past couple years who have done it, and I go, some of you guys got lucky and bought, right? But if you bought in the past year, I worry about you a little bit because, like,
You overspent.
there are people you overspent, you probably paid over asking, and you probably paid immediately. Like, you probably got as much cash as you fucking possibly could get together. That's every story I hear of anybody selling right now. Our house was on the market for a week, and they paid fucking $60,000 over asking price. And you go, holy fuck, that's great. But then you realize that person also has to buy a house on the other end.
I literally heard my dad have that exact conversation with a friend of his. He's like, I put my house up first day it was up. 3 people came in, bidding war. I got way over the asking price. It's sold first day. The housing market, especially in Vermont, unfucking real.
It's set to explode.
Oh, of course.
And I can't wait because I keep saying it. It's going to happen at some point. Our government is way overspending. We're going to keep overspending. It's just the beginning. Look, I was always the person during the Trump administration who, when everyone was sitting there looking at his economy going in the first year, and they were like, this is the best fucking thing in the world. Look at this go. And you talk to a lot of economists, and they will tell you that the first year of a president, that's the last president's economy.
Oh, yeah.
And anything you're seeing there is really the effect of the last administration. So everything that we're seeing right now, arguably this boon, is still the 2020 massive amount of money that got infused into the fucking market after that awesome crash we all went through. And we're still spending and it's still going up. We're going to get our ass kicked at some point. It's going to fucking happen. And then I'm going to buy all my stocks over again and laugh and laugh and laugh. I just don't know when the fucking crash is going to come. But I can't imagine it's not going to crush the housing market.
Oh, it's going to crush fucking everything.
Yep.
There's going to be little kids playing with fucking stacks of dollars like the Deutschmark kids.
Look at my hoop, Leslie.
We're playing with a dead lizard, pretending it's still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Not to be too depressing, but
Nah.
too late now.
It can get worse. It can always get worse on this show.
Well, it's gonna. Let's talk about corpses. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think. I felt like I had 4 things in the chamber to talk about, and I've only done 2 or 3 of them.
4 whole things.
Surprisingly, one of them was not tit cheese. Didn't have that one prepared.
Wow. Pretty amazed we got there anyways. That was pretty,
Yeah.
pretty important.
I have an idea for a TV show.
What?
It's called Date Me, I'm Hot.
So every dating show ever?
It's exactly what you
It's
think
exactly
it is.
like every dating show ever.
Except at the end of it, Rory. At the end of it, what do you think we do? After they date.
Hunt them.
Because they're hot. Exactly. We release them on a nature preserve.
And then we hunt them like the most dangerous game. And we see if looks turn into intelligence.
You've bonded on the basis of looks alone. How strong is that? That'll get you through a marriage.
Are you
But will
guys-
that get you through the night in a gladiatorial arena?
Is your relationship $1 million strong? Because if you survive and climb through the pit, you win $1 million, which after taxes really isn't as much as you'd think.
Yeah.
They end up making it, but like they're traumatized, and so through they get like, let's say after tax like $600,000, and then they end up fighting over the amount. So each one of them ends up getting $300,000, but because of the fight, the court battles, each of them only ends up getting like $150,000, and then a lot of that gets spent in high-priced therapy.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have to start doing appearances at nightclubs. It's like, date me, I'm hot's Jared.
Yeah. They can't go back and work normal jobs because it's like Katniss after the Hunger Games. Every now and then they just freak the fuck out. They just freak the fuck out. They just turn and see something like somebody throws a paper airplane and it reminds them of the Kill Dome, and like a spinning blade flies back their face and cuts their cheek, and they end up breaking Terry's arm in a fucking fit of PTSD.
That'd actually be really cool. So like one of the women gets her face like sheared off, but still has great boobs.
What we don't tell you is that it's not just you as a couple. It's like 8 other couples that have all gone through the same thing. We unleash you at the same time. You're all fighting for the $1 million. So people die. It's kind of like the Hunger Games. Now that I mentioned the Hunger Games,
like
it's
the
a lot
Hunger
like the
Games.
Hunger Games, except for money instead of whatever. I mean, the life, the whole
Well,
life.
the network would look at this and be like, well, it's only called Date Me, I'm Hot. What's the twist? And I'm like, it's an entire season of just a normal, boring-ass dating show. And the finale
is
is
the murder
when we
dog.
hunt and kill them.
Yeah.
And I want to be the host, and I want to personally hunt them.
I want to be one of the designated gladiators that, like, you can kill, I guess, but you don't really win anything, and trying to piss them off is bad because I've got, like, body armor and some weapons.
It's like American Gladiator. Here comes Mace.
You are my least favorite character, Kathy. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it's just me.
I know your heart wasn't in it.
It's just me with a deer rifle.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's suspend me from a wire, too. I'm in a little cage above him.
You're just spinning around,
Yeah.
spraying.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bleh.
Yeah, wait, we didn't think this through.
I forgot where I put all the tiger traps, Rory. I'll be honest with you. We might want to stay right here until this is all over.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I bet we could get the UK to sign off on that.
And then the follow-up show is called PTSDTF. And it's where we take the survivors and see if they can find love again out in the wild.
Not so pretty anymore, are you, contestants?
That's the girl with her face sheared off, the nice boobs. So I
Great.
want someone to love me for my breasts and not my pizza face.
That's great. Because I'm sure that's how that would go.
Chimpanzee face transplants.
Well, yeah, if she won, too, if she made it off, then she probably got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if her face got shredded, that means her partner probably didn't make it.
Oh, no.
No, he got
And even
used
if
to
he did, he was like,
Oh, God, help me, please. You've got to come back for me. And she made the right call and didn't.
Yep.
He died gruesome. And that's also part of why she's on the second season. She's got to work through some shit.
Fan favorite Teresa.
Yeah. Working for that plastic surgery.
Oh, no face.
Really expensive stuff. Very sad.
Make me look like Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oof. Yeah.
First time I saw Zorro, I was like, wow,
Uh-huh.
I feel feelings now. That's what feelings are.
When he cuts her little bodice off and it just drops and the boobs are hidden by the hair, but you know what's under that hair.
Oh, they're boobs. They're
There's
boobs under the hair.
Boobies. And I don't know what they look like, but I know that boobies are
I
under
knew
there.
the general shape from that day on.
It's just smaller versions of her face.
Little hands.
Just screaming in terror.
Yeah.
It's like when Freddy Krueger's victims all like push out of his chest.
Just
and they do
chewing
little-
the hair.
Yeah. Stop it. Just slapping her tits. Why do I have a boner?
Yeah.
If I was still bothering to do album artwork for these, I'd just make it Catherine Zeta-Jones with her own face on her tits.
As I know, it's got to be like Jack Nicholson now or someone.
Jack Nicholson just nursing cats. Just laying on his side, a little pig suckling on him. He's my favorite actor, but I love to dunk on him. Ever since he spilled that chili at the Lakers game.
so incredible.
He brought homemade chili to a Lakers game and spilled it everywhere.
We've talked about this before, but every time it's brought up, it's so fucking funny to see the picture.
Oh,
Just
course.
to see the picture of him where he looks like everybody's like when you were 4 and your grandpa did something. It's like, I don't know. Just kind of like flabbergasted. Just that's what that reminds me of, like grandpa.
Oh, dude, my grandpa once he got kind of ill for a while and lost a bunch of weight.
Oh.
He stood up from the dinner table,
That's very depressing.
farted forcefully, and the force was enough that his fucking pants fell down. We all saw his piss-stained tighty whities. It was terrible. Never looked at him the same way again.
That's very sad.
That was a turning point in our relationship where I was like, I mean, he just got like sick, not like he was dying.
Mm-hmm.
He just had like a really like relentless flu and lost a couple lbs. And there he was. And that was the first time I looked at him and went, I could kill this man.
Yeah, I can take this man.
I'm more powerful than him.
Yeah.
And I'm 9.
What an interesting dynamic for the Koch family.
Yeah, we're pretty competitive,
Yeah.
not going to lie.
After I saw them take Sparkler, I had my
All right.
had my worries about this family, but now I know I'm the strongest.
See you at the crossroads, all of our pets that
Hey,
they
family.
just shot in the head.
Let's all go out into the woods and shoot some guns. Yes, some guns.
It's just
There's your movie.
midsummer with my family.
Yeah.
I just drug them and hunt them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Except all that salt they eat probably counteracts whatever chemical compound I
Be
feed
too
them.
easy to hunt. I got a break. Hold on.
Yeah, wait,
Break.
goddammit.
I gotta go back. I forgot to get some water.
We have 3 functioning knees between the 8
I
of
got
us.
a canteen back at the bank, Dad. Just,
Oh my god, a liberal's making a good point somewhere.
oh, the other one screamed like, maybe he didn't hear us. Time out. pound. That should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. It's
Not at
hunting people.
all. Nothing's fun with my family.
Nothing's ever fun.
I
Even
would-
hunting them was tedious and boring.
I went to dinner with them, and they just like sat in silence the whole
Arby's.
time. No, Cornerstone.
Oh.
Might as well be Arby's.
Yeah. That's a weird dynamic. It's like the awkward date. You're not supposed to do that with your family though. Like everyone's a little quiet when
No.
the food just gets out, because you want to sit there and eat a little bit. But if it's quiet before that, it's a tough night.
Listen, we all know that I like to dabble with the plushy girls.
You said, "Oh, did you bring a date?"
No. I'm just talking. I'm talking about your concept of the quiet date.
Yes.
We all know I like the well-fed ones. There was one time I took a girl in New York City on a date, and the food showed up, and it got like wicked silent, and I didn't like notice it at first, and then I looked up, eating pasta with her hands.
What does this have to do? You didn't even have to mention the size of her, though. That seems a little
Do
aggressive.
you think a skinny girl eats pasta with her hands?
Listen,
that
skinny girls
quickly?
do drugs too.
But dude, like a fucking
Don't
like,
tell me she was straight edge.
corporate working girl, and she's just picking her pasta like spaghetti
I've been doing this since I was 6 with my paschetti.
in a relatively nice restaurant, and
Yeah.
I'm like, do I say something?
I'm like, are you eating your pasta with your hands?
Is this a test?
Yeah, I'd be like, am I not supposed to say something about that? Is this how you've always done this? Because I got to tell you, I don't know where you're from, but I now know it's not like a city.
So I asked her, I'm like,
What's the deal?
so what's this about? And she's like, oh, I don't trust restaurant cutlery. I'm like, but you trust strangers to make the food in the back?
I would look at her and go, you had to touch the door to get in. You had to go on the
You're
subway.
drinking out of a glass.
Have your hands been sterile in front of you like a doctor's from the moment you get here? Did everyone open doors for you? And did you do you trust the Uber driver and the door? Did he open? Like, how did you get here without touching anything
It's
from the bathroom?
specifically the cutlery that bothers you.
You could bring your own. I'd have found that less weird even.
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, man, I'm a little neurotic sometimes about that kind of stuff. Not that bad. That's a germaphobe. Like, that's real germophobia.
That's a real specific kind of illness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, I'm not trying to judge you, but you know that this is wildly fascinating, and I will probably talk to other people about this someday, right? It's like, whatever. It's fine.
Here, check out this podcast. You'll be on it one day. Slide her a card. We have cards now.
Yeah, there you go. They just say fuck you on them. They have no other information.
Oh, my God. They have a watermark.
Mhm.
Just.
You put lemon juice on it, and it's invisible ink. It shows up.
Yep.
Yeah, totally fucking weird. But then again, like, you talk about bringing your own. I'm the asshole that went on a date for Thai food and brought his own collapsible chopsticks, ladies.
Yeah, see, whatever. People do weird shit.
Didn't get a second date.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Who would have thought? Maybe that's a second date thing you do.
I also made a huge unilateral move, and I was like, yeah, make everything as spicy as possible. She's just sitting there
Oh,
sweating.
you're a jerk.
Oh, 100%.
She probably liked you, too, up until that point.
She was one of those girls that's on Bumble that puts, like, I like whiskey and adventure. I'm like, you like adventure, do you? How about diarrhea on the subway?
You think that what ruined that date was your chopsticks, but really it's because you gave that girl diarrhea and she didn't like you for it.
She had 9 stops to get home.
You're sitting there like, no, just like hammering the food down. Hey, what's the deal with you? Oh, I'm sorry, these chopsticks are so weird. She's sitting there like, I gotta eat something to make him think that he's okay. And then like after the first date, she didn't call you because she thinks, wow, if he's willing to eat spicy food like that on the first date, what's his normal diet like? And she ran from you. She ran like the plague.
This was, I mean, like,
Chopsticks. Look at you letting yourself off.
oh no, I sucked the bag.
You son of a bitch.
It wasn't even just those 2 things. I sucked the bag on that date. Talked about other women. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I complained. I barely let her get a word in edgewise. It was
Listen.
the worst date I've ever been on. That was my fault.
Yeah. I mean, it's the weird thing. Is like I've been on dates where I've talked about other women and had been on dates where they've talked about other guys. Really, I guess it just depends on the way that they do it, though.
It
If you're
doesn't
like,
bother me
Man, that
unless
girl sure was pretty.
Listen, I know it's early, but how do you feel about a 3-way?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, she was probably the best I ever had. But looking at you, I can tell. Maybe I should reconsider what my best is.
You got
Wink.
a chance to beat the record.
Anyways, I'm gonna order another beer. Hey, sweetie, get your ass over here.
You were walking in the footsteps of giants,
Yeah.
my lady.
Boy, you should probably order something else. I tell you what, you play your cards right, you're getting laid tonight. Just-
I distinctly remember ordering you the lobster.
Everyone can tell I'm very good at dating.
Oh, sure. We both are.
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
I'm the worst, most awkward son of a bitch in the world.
I'm not, like, you can talk about other guys as long as it's not a guy who keeps coming up. Because I'm not offended by that, but I go, there's no point.
If you bring up somebody once, it's fine. If you end up bringing up somebody a bunch of times, it starts to make you feel like they've got like unreconciled things going on there. You know, so that I get that.
Kevin never used to like to eat chickalinis. It's so nice to be
to find somebody who does like chickalinis.
I'm like, was this recent? 3 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
He lives next door.
I moved there on purpose. His wife is very nice.
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's my fish when I'm
there's
gone.
not really anything that I have problem talking about on dates. It really just depends on what people's response is. Like I dated a girl in New York, and again, her response to my like career so far was like, "Oh, you really haven't started yet, have you?" And I was like, "Wow, that's a mean thing to say to somebody."
I'm actually farther than I thought I'd be at this point.
I'm actually impressed the fact that I've been here only a couple months, and I actually have a strong 9 to 5 going on. I thought I was doing pretty all right. There's people whose job involves doing crack in this city, and I've got, I'm doing okay. And then she got hammered, but that's another story.
Yep, that's always fun. That's a weird thing I thought about. I can't remember if I said this to you or if I said this to my dad.
It's probably your dad.
But everybody drinks.
Sure.
So at some point, you get to find out what kind of drunk they are.
Just how much.
How much, what it takes, what they're like, what are the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's fascinating because some people just get like a little fuzzy, maybe a little lovey, maybe a little quiet, circumspect. And some of them turn into the goddamn Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, some people explode.
It's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wild when a woman decides she's going to drink like that on a first date. It's like, well, A,
yeah,
you don't know me. And if you look at me, you definitely think pervert. So probably not great to get that drunk. Now, I happen to be a gentleman with low self-esteem. However, I'm also judgmental. So
don't worry, I'm
continues to
judging
affect
you too. It's funny when they get drunk and you notice that moment of clarity runs across their face where they're like, oh my God, I'm here with this weird stranger I don't even like.
Yeah,
and
this
you're like,
weird guy that like I got drunk and now I'm more unattracted to him.
Yeah. You just had a bad conversation the whole night, which fueled their drinking, which led to them just being like, I don't know, whatever. And then they get to that point where you look at them and you realize they're realizing they don't want to be on the date anymore.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Oh, because I sit there and go,
shit.
You don't understand what my life is. It's usually bad situations. Like, I'm usually in situations where I'm like, I could take it or leave it. So you having a bad time for me makes this more fun for me. You don't see that. We were both having a bad time up until I saw that look go across your face.
Now I never want this to end.
Now I'm waiting to see how you're going to get out of this, sweetheart. Just awful.
Oh, my God.
Well, I guess I should probably call it a night. Yeah, I'm going to walk you all the way back to your train, and then I'll give you a hug good night.
Want to hear about my collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Well, it's just a shame I didn't bring them with me to the city, or I'd show you, but I'm waiting until I find my forever apartment.
Can it be yours? Prepare for the wintry freshness
This is a lot of
mace.
fun. I'm glad we have each other's numbers. That was my favorite though. Is that you'd go down you'd end a date sometimes so badly, and you'd never hear from them, and they'd never hear from you.
No.
You wouldn't have to put up both of you knew what that was. You don't have to put up any front or pretend like, yeah, we're just different people or whatever. You just immediately both ignore each other forever.
It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice when you both realize no one's the asshole here. This was a one-off.
Good or bad, the best part of dating is being on the same page.
Sure.
The worst is when you really like them and they're not into you, or you're not into them and they're really into you, and you kind of are like, that's like the hardest. Like, that's the worst. But when you're both on the same page about what's going on, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Yeah, either when you fucking hate each other or you can't get enough of each other.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, the hating is sometimes so much easier. Just because
Oh, sure.
it's there, it's over.
It's like the reverse of like frowning and smiling. It takes 27 muscles to frown and only 5 to smile. It's like hatred's so easy. It's so readily available.
Well, it's so amazing too that I think about when I in terms of because this is all coming from online dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Social
sure.
media dating, the Tinders and the Brambles and the OK Cupids, and the bagels and the fishes.
Yeah, plenty of bagels.
Mm-hmm.
Too many fish.
Too many fish. Everybody eats fish. What?
Fish
where
is a metaphor.
you go on fish themed dates. Like, oh, I thought we were going to a restaurant. No, we're going to the aquarium. Shut
No,
up
we're
and
fish
get on board.
furries, and we're gonna trespass.
We're going fucking lobster fishing. Get your waders on.
It's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, dressed up like the Gorton's fisherman.
I'm gonna marry that woman. I tell you what.
Yar.
Oh, that's. Oh man, I tell you, nothing hotter than a girl and some sexy waders. You think I'm joking?
Sexy crab fisher woman.
Sexy crab fisherman.
There you go.
I got a calendar like that once. They didn't reveal a thing. I went from 6 to midnight.
Just holding crabs
Look
over
at her
her
lift
boobies.
that pot. Oh God. I gotta go. But yeah, I forgot where we were talking. Lobster women.
Bad
Dating. Oh yeah. The point I was trying to make was it's super interesting the way you end up out on those dates where you realize like, wow, we both despise one another because you never know it from like the texting that happens before the date.
Oh yeah.
That's the craziest thing is you can sit there and you can both like that girl that I was telling you about that I told everybody about just now. We had such a great back and forth on the app and via text because we were both kind of cynical complainers. But when we got together, our cynicisms didn't really match. Remind us sort of that lackadaisical, like, we're going to die. You know, it's going to happen. And hers was like, we're going to die and I need to work and everyone is stupid and I hate everything. And don't get me wrong, I get there some days, but I'm also sort of like that sort of whimsically bemused by the horrible terror of the world and this wicked state everything's in. And so our cynicisms didn't match up and we ended up hating each other for it.
Yeah, because that's like cynicism and nihilism. You know what I mean? If you just resign yourself to the world of shit and you don't find any fun in it, like you probably shouldn't be sharing that with anyone else.
If you're not
It's
having
infectious.
popcorn at the end of the world, then we're not the same cynics.
Seeking a friend for the end of the world.
Yes. And that's not to say that sometimes I don't see the nihilist in it. You know what I mean? It's just not on the first date, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Why don't we titrate? Ease me into that. Am I still using that correctly? Titrate?
Titrate.
Was I ever?
Maybe not.
I don't know.
All I know is it makes me not do the social dating things anymore. Really, I don't like them.
No,
I just don't like doing it anymore.
It's pretty demoralizing.
Yeah, I'm out that shit.
Yep,
it's small town living.
It's very true.
Yeah, I feel like every time I'm like, okay, who am I going to run into on this thing? Who am I going to run into that I know?
Oh, look, it's my mom.
Yeah, God, this is a conversation. Trying to cheat on my old man. Oh,
I'm just trying to think if Bruce Springsteen was around, like if Tinder was around when Bruce Springsteen was a young man.
Oh, he would have cleaned up.
Oh, man.
The
But just the
boss?
songs he would have written.
Down in Tinderland,
Wendy swipe left.
and you swipe right, and it doesn't look like that was their picture.
And she's gained 20 pounds since then. Yep.
Oh no, you forgot your credit card at home, and she thought you were paying, and you're running down the street.
You expected to go Dutch. You say you're progressive, but you're just an asshole.
Saxophone solo. Always a sax solo to end it out. I just
R.I.P. Clarence, big man.
It's the worst thing we've ever done to ourselves. We made everything a profit margin. Everything is something to make money. Bottled fucking water, goddammit.
Yeah.
Everything is around making money. So we had to do that to dating and romance and like getting to know one another.
And we make fun of ideas like Tinder for dogs, but I guarantee that's out there. I don't have to look.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. Tinder, the dog date. It's not even about the dogs. It's about you dating dog owners. And
Meet that special bitch.
There's
Like
farmers only. It's really good. You should go find them for marketing. But you got fucking J-Date, and Christian Mingle, and fucking... We're just sorting ourselves in these nice little tight pack groups, and it makes me want to join Christian Mingle so bad and see how far into that date I can get before they realize I am not even remotely Christian. Like, not even close.
she's just like you. It's the same con, though.
I was like, Diane, when are we going to fuck? And she's just like... And then that's when she knew. I'm saving myself for Heavenly Father. And I go, you're a pervert. He doesn't want to fuck you.
There's the golden loophole, though, the butt.
Yeah.
Explain that to
goes,
her on the first date.
Well, okay. And I go, all right, that's I don't know.
You've
Call
made a
me
lot
crazy.
of great points here, Rory.
No problem if you like getting done in the butt.
Show
I got
me
no
the
problem
ways
with
of the
that.
secular flesh.
I get confused about the people who are like, don't even touch it. That's for God. But
However,
that makes a ton of sense to me. I don't know, man. World's a crazy place.
and then I've encountered a lot of Christians that are like, I don't think you're going to hell for premarital sex. And I'm like, good answer.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny because I've known people who like figured that out along the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't you figure that out 4 years ago? No, I'm just kidding.
When my dick still worked
It's bullshit.
and gained all this weight.
Now I just want to cuddle and watch TV.
I have low testosterone.
I guess that's okay too.
My teeth are falling
Shit
out.
changes.
Hug me like a squishy pillow.
So I'm going to take a nap.
Oh, man.
If you'd care to join. No, I mean it. I mean a nap. I'm being serious.
In the strictest medical definition, it could be called a coma.
Don't come in
However,
here with that sexy bullshit. I plan on sleeping.
Leave some butter out so it's melted by the time I get done. I'm going to need a snack. I hate myself, but I love you.
If you're coming to cuddle, that's fine. I just need to know now because I need to know whether to open a window or use a blanket because sometimes I overheat and I don't want to wake up sweaty.
I'm pulling out of here to win.
Best Bruce Springsteen song you ever heard.
Great. Great stuff.
Now we got a little off the rails.
Sure.
Yep.
And it's yeah.
It's so hot in here, though.
It is so hot.
I think we're
in
getting
here.
heat stroke is the problem.
You are glistening.
I'm telling you, it started off fine, but the more we got going, the warmer we got.
The more like preacher, like tent revival preacher we got.
Yeah.
About online dating.
Mercy.
Powerful
It's
hot.
because I started to get all hot and bothered thinking about dating.
The ladies.
Anyways.
Yep. As soon as I started bringing up chubby girls, that was it for me.
Goodness.
No, I take it back. That's how I want to die. Accidental death being smothered by a chubby girl because it'll hurt my dad so
It won't
bad.
be accidental, though.
It might be.
Maybe that's just to spare her feelings.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were doing. But like it would hurt my dad so bad.
That's all you're. I'm sure there's plenty of things that you can do other than that.
Just
but-
died with an erection that you can't saw off and a Joker Erictus smile.
There was no denying what he was here for.
We had to build an L-shaped coffin for him.
In his will, he also demanded it be written on his tombstone, so there be no denying how
Just a
he
picture
died.
of him giving a thumbs up while he's laying atop what appears to be a waterbed, but is actually his date. It would just, and it wouldn't even hurt my dad if I died. It would be the way that I died. It would be the fact that it was a fat chick.
Well, yeah, because your dad had that weird hang-up, doesn't he?
He's a wicked fat Nazi.
Yeah, it's too bad.
You know, he'd be like, nothing you've ever done in your life has disappointed me more.
Well, just more talks to you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody has a preference. Everybody's into certain things and not into certain things.
But also beggars can't be choosers.
But also
Rory.
beggars can't be choosers. But that's not even that. It's like, what about, like person? Nah, forget it.
Nah, fuck it. Can't have sex with that.
Can't have sex with your personality, I guess. I just like I nothing ever resonated for me more than the scene with Jason Segel in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he's like, "You broke my heart into a million pieces, and now my penis doesn't like you anymore."
Maybe my dick doesn't want to be around you.
Yeah, where I sat there and like it applies so many times, because again, I had a date with a girl who was like, "You're just not like." She was at a certain point, she's just like the switch flipped, and she was just not a good person. And like all of the rest of the date kind of made a lot more sense, where like I was kind of like writing things off. That was clearly just her kind of being a shitty person. And it came down to being like, yeah, but we should probably sleep together. And I was just like, you're so attractive, but I don't like anything about you anymore now. And it just reminds me of that every time now.
Yeah.
It's like there's always those people who are like, yeah, but she was hot. It's like, but what of your soul, sir? What of your soul?
Who gives a shit? Get your dick wet. That's our friends.
Well, it's like you can fucking never see her again after that, dude. And I'm like, you don't know that. You don't know what the repercussions are.
Truly don't.
I have done the irresponsible thing before and had horrible repercussions because of it. I know. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it.
If it feels wrong, trust your gut. That's what we're saying. Known
It
dating
feels wrong,
experts,
but also
me and
seems
Rory.
like it's great. It's probably bad.
If you really want to do it, but you know you shouldn't, walk away.
Yep.
And that's from noted dating experts, the Skimbo Lounge.
Unless you're in a different state and you're leaving in the next week.
Figure out what the statute of limitations is, and
No, wait, not that far. But
I'm just talking about a little graveyard
uh-huh.
heavy petting. I'm sure that's illegal.
What, getting down at a graveyard?
Having sex on top of a dead body.
I bet you it 100% is.
Oh, desecrating a corpse?
Well, no, I'm
Absolutely.
not. I mean, like even in a graveyard, on top of like a a buried person.
You probably get chased out of there, but you
Probably
like
indecent exposure or public indecency. Or
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be anything like that. We're like, technically, is this necrophilia? Well, there was no penetration, Tom. I'm not sure we can get that. And the scholars have a fight for the night over whether it is or isn't.
goes to the Supreme Court eventually.
We
The
decided
people versus corpse fucker.
it's okay. It's not necrophilia. You're just a goth pervert.
You're just a bad person.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
It's totally okay you were fucking that 18-year-old, except that it was indecent exposure. Great! You're the best!
Legally solid other than that.
Yeah.
And that's all you care about.
So it's just going to be an $80 fine. I'll be back next weekend, pigs.
You have to register as a sex offender and go around like, just full disclosure, I did have sex with a corpse on Halloween.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was my Nona, so I didn't think that made it weird.
That got dark fast.
However,
How did it go from... forget it.
yeah, don't ask. It just comes out.
You got there. You got there somehow.
I'm not like actively trying to draw connections here. It just
I know.
tumbles out.
I know.
Brain, mouth,
And I'm trying so bad.
the highway, nothing.
I'm trying to think of their whole fucking story. Where are they 2 weeks down the road? How is it affecting their life? And you're over there just making up new stories, new people. I got to find whole new backstories in my mind. I can't keep up.
These people technically
keep up.
are all, we've spoken them into existence, and they all exist in the expanded Skimbo canon.
I got to be honest. I assume all these people exist because America's a big, creepy place.
Very
And
true.
somewhere, no matter what we're describing somebody.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about like
What?
cannibals eating people's penises, and it's like that happened in Germany. A guy-
Billionaires exist.
Yeah.
You think Jeff Bezos never worked down on some penis?
He never hunted someone and ate their still
Oh, yeah.
beating cock.
Jeff Bezos hunted someone for sport around the $4 billion mark, I bet.
Yeah.
You know, once he realized, like, wait, I'm basically a god on this planet now. Now he's in the hundred of billions. Now he's hunting other billionaires.
He's like Dr. Manhattan. He just goes to chill out on the moon.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we have to look forward to. Daddy Bezos will always be watching you.
Yeah. Whoever he passes that money down to is basically going to be the handlers for the rest of our lives.
Does he have any heirs? Does he have kids?
Not yet. You never know. But think about that. What's he going to do? Is he going to be one of those people who's like, I divested into a charity? Because no matter what charity he puts that money into, that money is going to get swindled into the hands of other billionaires.
Oh
No
my
matter
God.
what happens, the fact that he's worth X number of billion, like what is he worth now? $200 billion? Some crazy
Who
fucking
fucking
number now?
knows?
Like say his net worth. Let's say his net worth is like 130. Just to be way, way fucking conservative. That means that when he's gone, he's going to make 130 other billionaires probably. He's not going to divest his money that much probably. He's going to make some big, big companies and put that money through, but somebody's going to just end up making shit tons off of him.
Well, and it's an interesting question. If he doesn't have children to pass it down to, who does he want to get it? Does he want anyone to get it?
Well, and the Amazon juggernaut is not done growing either, so that's going to make other billionaires out of the people
Right.
who take over.
Interesting. Interesting to think about.
Yeah.
I'd love it if he like left it to a clean water initiative, but there again, why aren't you doing that now?
Yeah, he doesn't need the money now, so
Right.
why would we expect that after he was dead he would do the right thing?
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, no one could appreciate it then. It's like, okay, thanks. You know,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of people died in the time it took for you to die and do something altruistic.
Well, it's fucking crazy too, because everyone now and then goes, "Well, look, he donated $20 over to this thing about helping the baby seals, or whatever it fucking
He
happens."
did
to
Toys
be."
for Tots.
And you go, "Yeah, that's great." You know what the difference is? Is like every now and then, like somebody makes that comment and somebody does the math and goes, "Okay, he's worth $135 billion. He donated $50 million. That's like if you have $2,000 in your bank, if you were to pull a 20 out of your pocket and donate it to them. That's literally the equivalence." And everyone goes, "Oh wait, yeah, okay, fuck him."
But also, like,
It literally makes stupid people like that feel better. Don't be wrong. It's an amazing thing to do, kind of, but it's also a pittance in consideration to what could actually be done by these people. And that's the point.
but like, what charities, what organizations is it really going to? Because I would argue that, like, you could be helping
going to a
build
guy that he knows.
infrastructure in African countries and, like,
Well, it's the kind of thing where these kind of people collectively could make college free for the next 100 years.
Sure.
And just do it. All college. Just public. They could do the whole fucking shabam. And they're not going to do that. They could fix the water problems in every fucking state. And they're not going to do that.
oh my God, yeah. It's the kind of thing where people are like, how would Bernie Sanders pay for his ideas? It's like,
He talks about taxing these people. That's how he would do it.
yeah.
Well, they're getting taxed now. But like, no, but there's also a shit ton of loopholes that allow them to hide that money. We had these things called the Panama and the Paradise Papers come out, and they showed about how basically every single, like, once you get above $30 million a year, you're hiding your money. That's it. Even the people who are in their regular, like if you're a millionaire, you're hiding your money somehow. Most people. Celebrities, your favorite celebrity, they're hiding their money. The CEO of your company, if they're making millions, they're hiding their money. Everybody who is at that level is hiding their money. And the result was the journalists who put it out were killed. And that's it. That's the only thing that's come of it. No legislation's been passed. They haven't kept you from being able to, as Alex Koch, take your money and make a shell company in the Cayman Islands and then funnel your money there and then employ yourself as an employee of that company in a different country to wash your fucking money. So you don't have to pay taxes on it in this country. Because again, it's in a different country. You're employed in a different country. You're employed under a different tax bracket. Don't worry about it, dog. That's why Apple is a company that makes a shit ton of money in America, which is headquarters in Ireland and has all of its factories in China. Because people do this shit. And everyone sits there and goes, but where are we going to get the money from? I don't know. The people who are hiding it. Everyone talks about where fucking jobs would come from, but if we had the Apple factories here and their solution for suicide was to install nets around the bottom of the building, I think it would probably make people buy an iPhone a little less than they do now.
Yeah. We'll go back to Android, thank you.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking wild. That's why America's the greatest country on earth.
Greatest country on earth.
We don't allow our citizens to think about this stuff. We just pour liquid cheese down their
Don't
throats.
you see? We're so great that we don't allow them to work in the Apple factories. we send them to a different country for you. Soon that's going to be Amazon, man. Once they figure out a way of like successfully like air shipping or by sea, getting the stuff across the ocean easily, they're just going to make some massive warehouse in Greenland or somewhere and hose the whole thing there and then just launch drones.
Yeah.
One day you'll just see like an ocean across the ocean, just this huge army of drones coming in to drop off fucking DVDs and Blu-rays and laptops and dildos on the wanting, needing, starving children of America.
Preparation H wipes because you're too embarrassed to buy them at the store.
Yeah, and just everything that we thought we could get around that we were too lazy to buy, and everyone sits there and goes, but what happened to my favorite bait and tackle shop? Dude, that was gone when Walmart showed up, and now you guys are putting Walmart out of business. What happened to fruit? Dollar General. You can't. What do you think?
What happened to fruit?
Yeah, well, that's gonna happen.
Fruit just vanishes.
Well, no.
What happened to fruit?
That was like a random snap in my brain. But dude,
it's so
Walmart
amazing.
Walmart has a vegetable and fruit department.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at Dollar General. They don't have those things because they don't have the infrastructure for
Right.
produce. So you look at a lot of small town areas where their grocery stores are going out of business. You get certain areas that get Walmart supercenters and they have grocery, like they have those departments that have meat and they have produce and they have all those things. Dollar Generals have never. And a lot of times they have better prices than those other places, even more so because they focus on such a specialized thing.
And they do stuff like bread, chips,
Yes.
bologna, that
the
kind
bullshit
of thing.
foods. And so you can sit there and buy just from Dollar General, and eventually you don't have anywhere to buy produce.
But I think if you're
that's
the
where
kind
that
of
came in
person
my
who's
brain.
buying food from Dollar General, you go, I don't really need vegetables.
Well, no, but the thing is a lot of these places, they sit there and go, I don't need to buy it. Like, all I need to do is I'll just buy my produce over there. But that doesn't fucking sustain the goddamn grocery store. When you're only buying that one fucking thing from them, it's only a certain part of what they've got going on, and they go out of fucking business. And now you don't have anywhere to buy that fucking produce anymore, and you go, oh, shit. What were we supposed to do?
I didn't want asparagus anyway.
Yep. And thank God for co-ops and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's
Although
only
the
around here.
prices are fucking nuts there.
Wonder why.
Yeah. And Americans shopping at Dollar General for a fruit that they can't eat because their teeth fell out.
So that's what I'm saying. So the fucking fruit is gone. They're turning our frogs gay.
Bruce Springsteen does a disappearing fruit awareness concert
Yeah.
sponsored by the Skimbo Lounge.
Sponsored by Dollar General, ironically.
Free root beer for every man, woman, and child.
Sponsored by Dollar General, who we also got to stop.
Eat until you can't feel your blood pumping.
It's a nice, fine slurry. That's the America I can dream of.
Just sucking down on tubes while Bruce Springsteen just gets up there and dances.
Sing along with me. It's just the audience just wheezing collectively. They don't even have to clap anymore every time songs song. Thank you.
They all just fart instead to show their appreciation.
It's just a bunch of sad, unhappy sounds of gas escaping from various areas.
Just through their skin.
Nobody light a match out there. I know he said you could smoke cigarettes, but please. And it just goes off like TNT.
That's all terrorists have to do is just walk by smoking a cig and flick it into the
a
concert
match
venue.
was flicked into the Hannah Montana concert.
Boy, she got big towards the end.
Thank you, obese children of America.
Just rolling around like little beach balls.
We've got to stop getting obese Americans congregated into areas. There's too many explosions happening.
Well, I don't know how you beat exploding children that are too fat to move, so maybe we got to wrap this one up
This is
before
why we
sweat
can't.
to death.
This is why we can't have smoking be indoors again. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, keep it illegal.
Americans have grown far too farty for that.
Yeah.
This kind of actually reminded me of the days recording in the closet
This feels like a closet.
when we'd sweat ass.
to death. Yeah.
Unreal.
This feels like a closet day. It really does. It's incredible.
Well,
it is
anyway.
so fucking hot. It is so sweaty, and my shirt is ruined. It's all sweat.
I feel gross.
I feel icky. It's gonna be hours till I can take a shower.
I don't want to be touched.
Ugh.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Hold me. Yeah, nothing.
Well, you can catch me live at Magoobies. I've got several dates coming up.
I hate you so much.
The donkey will be retiring after this one, so get the tickets while you can.
Give him a good pat on the way out if he's
That's-
still awake.
It's goddamn right. If I pass out, use the smelling salts.
Yeah.
I promised you 8 shows a night, and I'm gonna do it.
We'll be feeding the donkey sangria starting at 7.
It's gonna get real sweaty and loose in there. So until next time, thank you, go fuck yourselves, and goodbye.